Mine's on out.
How great was it?
What was your reaction to Michael Thomas?
Yeah, everybody's going to ask the same question first. All right, so Michael Thomas, he's back. All right, it's awesome. Great to have him back. Knew it was only a matter of time, right? So I think the timing's good. Get him back in the fold. You know, we're still at the beginning, I think, of our install for the most part. You know, so he came in today as if he's been here the whole time, and so all good.
Did you text him, or did he text you saying how I'm coming in?
Yeah. I've been texting him, just checking on him, seeing how things are going, and I knew things were close, so glad that it got done.
True. Coach Payton complimented his practice, just habits and what he brings to the table. True.
Yeah.
Does he help elevate other guys too?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's definitely a presence and an attitude, a swagger to what he brings to the field, and when he's out there, there's no half-speed rep. Everything is 1,000 miles an hour, Mach 3 with your hair on fire with Mike, and I think everybody else elevates their game to that. I think he makes the guys he's going up against better, the DBs. So I just think it's just that heightened level. Listen, our team periods are competitive anyway, right? We're out here to make each other better. We're out here to, just that adage, iron sharpens iron. I mean, that's truly the way we feel about these training camp practices. I'm trying to beat our defense every day, right? And I expect them to try to do the same to me. It's only making me better. It's only making them better. And at the end of the day, we're all on the same team. But if we can go into the regular season feeling like we've been playing against the best of the best for the last 6 weeks, then I think that puts us a step ahead.
You all said you understood why he was sitting out, but is there like an appreciation that he got it done pretty quick and he's back here?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, you know that this is part of the business at times, and you hope that it doesn't drag out too long. We want to have all the guys here. All the members of the team. We want the whole band, right? And so the more work that we can all get together, I think the better off we are.
True. Now that you're in this mode where you're back pushing that boulder up the hill, how can you tell a difference that an influence like the way last season ended has, and coming that close, and on the mindset of a team starting over again the next year?
I mean, training camp's training camp. You really just try to put it into a bunch of one-day segments. Every day is a new installation to a degree, right? The defense is continuing to add more. The offense is continuing to add more. But it's almost like going back to square one for every installation. I go back and I look at the same plays, and I try to approach it as if I'm seeing it for the first time, and okay, let's just go back to square one. How am I reading this play? And what if this happens? Well, then, it changes the mindset a little. So you go back and literally start from scratch with just about everything, and just kind of rebuild the foundation by which we're going to continue to evolve and add as the year goes on, just like we always do.
So any hangover effect would have been February, March, April. You don't believe that carries over into August, September?
You can't let it happen. As angry as we all were, as frustrated as we all were, and listen, do you ever? It's not like you just totally forget that. I think there's defining moments, from your career. I certainly know I've had my fair share that I can reflect back on and, still sting a little bit and still burn a little bit and still motivate, still inspire. And that's part of what keeps you going.
Drew, I'm fascinated with your relationship with Zion. You had to pass him the torch when he got drafted. You talk about in the SBC, you're 40, he's 19 years old. How did that all come about, and you seem to really kind of take him under your wing?
Well, I know this. First of all, let's take a step back. Zion hadn't played a game yet, right? Hadn't even stepped foot on the court yet for the Pelicans during the regular season game. So as much excitement as there is, and I think at the end of the day, it's, for me as being a guy who knows what it's like to come to a city and feeling like, man, it's kind of starting from scratch, and building something from the ground up. That's the way we felt when we came here in 06 with Sean Payton and all the guys that came in that year. And here we are 14 years later, and we're able to look at, all that we've accomplished and how we're still trying to climb, right? Still trying to climb and get better. I think we're at that point with the Pelicans in a lot of ways where there's been a lot of turnover, right? And and you acquire a guy like him and Jackson Hayes, and the big trade with AD, getting guys from the Lakers and picks, and so I think you take that and you add it to a guy like Drew Holiday, who in my opinion is the real leader of this team right now on the Pelican side, and the guy that with him, and then you're taking some of these talented young players that you're trying to add pieces to the puzzle. I mean, it's I think for me it's allowing these young guys to see the opportunity that they have here in New Orleans, that this is an incredible fan base, this is an incredible city that's ready to embrace them, but there's a right way to do it, right? And it's not like you just snap your fingers and it happens, man. It takes work, it takes hard work, it takes dedication, and there's going to be some bumps in the road, but I mean, I think we're all in this honeymoon phase a little bit, where we're all excited, but at some point you gotta get to work, and you gotta put your nose to the grindstone and just focus on getting a little bit better every day, and then going out and taking what you've been doing in practice in the off season and put that to work during the season.
With the ESPYs, how did it work that Zion and your sons had the exact same
That was just by chance, honestly.
Really?
That was so well, first of all, when I signed the jersey to Zion, I didn't know that was going to be for public consumption, right? I didn't know that that was going to show up on Instagram and videos and all this other stuff. And that was just my personal statement to him, just welcoming him to the city and letting him know that I want to be there for him as a resource, whatever I can do. I mean, I feel that way about every rookie that walks in the door here too. Whatever I can do, just because the way I feel about this city and these organizations, and from the ownership down. But that was the first time we had met Zion. Didn't know that I was going to see him. It was literally right when we walked out of the hotel to jump in our car to go to the red carpet. So my boys are there with the maroon tuxedo jackets on, with the black lapel, and then out walks Zion, same outfit. So it was just like, this is meant to be. It was awesome. And then right behind him walks Bill Russell. So it was pretty cool because it was like one of obviously the most legendary players in the history of the game, and also when it comes to just what he was able to do off the field in regards to social justice causes and various things, and so for me, looking at Bill Russell as this is one of the fixtures of professional sports, period, right? And then seeing kind of the next generation there at the same time. So I don't know. That's the part of me that really loves the ESPYs. Is I'm sitting there in my seat and I'm looking at Bill Russell and I'm looking at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and I'm looking at Dr. J, and so forget football for a second. Like, I'm in awe of the guys that have just paved the way for all of us as athletes in general.
Do you feel like you would regularly maybe check in on Zion during the season? I mean, since it's convenient, he's share a cafeteria, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll check in on all those guys.
Yeah. But I'm
yeah,
saying in particular just because of the hype and the expectations for someone like him.
Yeah. Listen, he's in a tough spot because obviously there is a ton of expectations, right? Comes in as the #1 pick, and you know what type of athletic ability he has and the excitement around that. And we have, by all accounts, we got a pretty young team, right? So I think certainly I am always going to be there for Zion, and whatever I can do to help guide, to help advise, to help mentor, I'm there. If he wants to go one-on-one, I'll do that too. We can. No. Listen, it's. I think there's a kinship. There's a kinship regardless of the generational gap, right? There's a kinship because I'm in a different sport, and yet I understand the pressures, right? And so if I can be there as a resource for him or any of those guys, I'm happy to take on that responsibility.
You're knocking down Jay's.
Last question, guys.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I don't quite catch it and get it up as fast as you probably need to in that league. All right.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Thanks.